Welcome back to the XoneBros, everybody. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. I'm X1 the Gamer. I have a black belt and pleasuring your ears. Jordan the Man and Mr. McSpicy, they've got yellow belts. Purple belts? Purple belts? I have a black belt and pleasuring your ears.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, I guess.
What are the belt colors?
I don't even know.
White.
Purple.
No, purple's pretty high up there, isn't it?
I think purple's high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff.
You just know that you have a black belt.
All I know is I got a second-degree black belt. I hear that thrown around.
Is it a different color black when you get into the degrees?
Dark black?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it,
I don't know.
like for example, in the military, you have like the lieutenant and then the lieutenant colonel. But the lieutenant colonel has like a different insignia.
3 stripes.
As is that what it is? Is it just one general black belt, or are there different black belts?
That's a good question. I don't know.
All I know, this is not related. Well, it's sort of related. There are different like blackness levels. There are materials. I watched this guy on YouTube that talks about like materials that are the blackest in the universe.
Like they absorb color.
They have
or
like,
they absorb light, right?
There is like zero reflective stuff, materials. So I don't know. Maybe you get in different shades of that material as you get higher and higher in the, I don't know, Steven Seagal black belt era.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that guy's funny.
I feel like
There's been a lot of, I don't know what causes it. And by me talking about it, maybe it's going to now start to pop up on everyone's feed on YouTube. Yeah. But there's a lot of Steven Seagal hate, and I get it. And it's pretty funny. Like that guy, there's some pretty funny. Like his latest movie.
He's like a tool.
This latest movie, he sits there. Like most of the shots, like 80% of the shots, he just doesn't want to stand up. So they had to film him sitting in a chair doing an action movie.
With like his hands. With his hands.
He's just, I don't want to stand up anymore. Just film me.
Have you heard him talk about like his philosophy? It's really funny. Shout out to Steven Seagal. Maybe he'll come on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure he will now.
Share his philosophy.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's been like a lot. I don't know why, but they just started popping up all over my feed. And it's like people's experiences with Steven Seagal, and he is just a jerk. And it's really funny.
That's funny. That is funny. Welcome, everybody. Thank you if you're listening live, or you're joining us live, rather, here on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. Shout out to Captain Obvious, Reactor, Steamo, Alco Brolic. Onyx is here in the house. Welcome, everybody. Thank you again. Don't forget to hit that like button on this video. Subscribe to this channel and join us. To support the show, you can become a member over here on YouTube. You get a nice little loyalty badge. In fact, Dark Knight just jumped into chat and has that gold.
The gold
X
one.
Looking
Same
good. If
League.
you are listening anywhere else, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. It really helps the show. Appreciate it. And let's jump into some Starfield. So Todd Howard did an interview this week with the one and only Lex Friedman. If you've not heard his podcast, he's a scientist, or I actually think he's a AI robotics guy.
Didn't you say like robotics at MIT or something like that?
And he does lots of interviews with lots of different people and sits down with them. They're 3 hours long,
and he's
2.5, 3 hours long,
right?
And
which is how we got on the topic of
Black Bart conversations. Anyways, he sat down with Todd Howard, and it was a very, very interesting interview.
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, Todd. It was nice because I actually think more gaming interviews should be done this way, because it's really the first time that I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time, and it's really the first time that I've heard a gaming developer sit down for 3 hours and just talk about how he got started in gaming, about how Skyrim came about how they think about things when they're developing different systems and mechanics. And it's very, very good. A lot of Starfield news came out of this because he was asked about Starfield. But I took a lot of notes on this, just some things that I really want to go over. So first of all, in talking about...
Can I mention something while you're looking,
go ahead.
up your notes? I found it fascinating that Todd Howard exists in our universe because Circuit City screwed him over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, didn't he quit Circuit City?
Well, because
No, they denied him.
They did-
He was in like
he was in a
accounting type of program or a CFO type of program.
I
right?
thought he said he made it to and he was about to get the top promotion or the highest he could
that's
go.
what he
at
was
Circuit
going
City,
for, and they denied him, and he just said, "Screw Circuit City, I'm out of here. I'm going to make my
I'll
own
go play
company."
video games.
Yeah. Thank you, Circuit City, for giving.
Well,
us
I think
Todd
they
Howard.
even mentioned then Circuit City went bankrupt.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
We should actually let's throw on Starfield.
Okay.
Footage as well. I think that would be interesting. Big shout out, by the way. We just had Reactor League gift 5 X1Bros memberships to everybody here in chat, as well as the one and only Super Shocker. Thank you very much to both of you for those 5 gifted subs, and congratulations to everybody who just got themselves a gifted sub. If you hit refresh, you'll have that loyalty badge there. That's why you come join us live every Friday. We're recording this on Thursday though, so sometimes we do it early. Just got to pay attention. So yeah, his origin story actually stood out to me for a few reasons. I think what was interesting is he kind of fell in love with gaming at its origin, and then really was living in the right place at the right time. Bethesda Studios was in Washington, where he was going to
Same
school.
with Circuit City.
Same with Circuit City, and he, as a kid, was developing.
I don't think it was
games.
Washington. It's back east.
No, it's Washington.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure David is
I think
right.
it's Maryland, to be honest with you.
You think Bethesda Softworks was located in Maryland?
I know. I'll look. I'm gonna look it up.
The disdain, the pure disdain coming off
I'm
that
telling
tongue.
you, I'm 100% positive it's
Does it
back east.
matter?
Yes,
Because he was going to college. So just type in, where did Todd Howard go to college? That's all you got to do.
I thought he said Richmond. Rich.
Yeah, they were located. Bethesda Softworks was located in
Or Richfield.
Redmond,
Redmond.
No,
Redmond,
no.
Washington. It's where, guess what? Microsoft is located.
This is actually, I guess, one of the most important pieces of information that we're going to be talking about.
Anyways, regardless, he really just started as a kid learning how to develop games on his Apple II.
Yeah. Well, and what's fascinating?
Wait, hold on. This is very important.
I will accept your apology now or later, whichever you decide.
No, I will accept your apology.
It's Virginia. I told you.
Bethesda was located in Virginia.
Well, I just did the whole college thing. He went to the college in Virginia, and Bethesda is located back east. Their main headquarters is back east.
Anyways,
it's not that important, anyways, right?
it wasn't Maryland.
Well, hey, I'd say, they're all in the same area.
Anyways, regardless, he actually started doing like sports games on like the floppy disk. One thing that was fascinating they talked about is the amount of money that a gaming developer made, the amount of discs rather per game was really important because it determined how much money you made on a game.
Well, because
Which is why
it was
CD-ROMs changed everything.
Yeah, because it was hardware essentially, right? Which isn't why back in the Nintendo days they beefed up the cartridges to run games better. They would put technology in the cartridge to help it run better.
Yeah. So which makes me, again, if that's the case, that's probably one of these eternal truths, right? Like the less cost you have on shipping a game, the more your profit margin will increase because you no longer have to ship it, right?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So if we've gone digital, why are we increasing the price of games? Just a bugaboo. Just a bugaboo.
And the fact that games make more money in different ways. And I'd also like to point out that Bethesda's located in Maryland.
Are they really?
Yeah, I thought it was like, why else would I think of Maryland?
I don't know why I thought Redmond. I did see Spicy thought it too though. I'm not the only one.
No, I know.
I heard Redmond.
Well, the reason. Okay, I'm just gonna put it like this. Jordan, you were timid. David, you were
did.
confident.
Say something with authority. Yeah.
You said Maryland.
It's like, have you seen those videos on YouTube of a guy that just walks around with a ladder and he sees where he can get into? And if you walk in like to the movies with a ladder, like they'll just let you in.
That was the psychology that happened to me.
Yeah, they figure you're fixing something or you're working on something.
It's funny. I should start doing that.
Anyways, the lesson learned there is he was passionate about it from a kid, and he just did it. He didn't go to school for it necessarily. He didn't learn it at school. He learned it on his own, and that is, I think, really the key to succeeding in what you want to succeed in. Right, figuring out what you're talented at, and then optimizing for that talent.
Yeah, well, it was really interesting because he talked about some of the different games he made, and what was it? He said he was making it on like an Apple II or something like that.
Yeah, Apple II.
It was, but he was talking about how he made like his own version of the Star Trek game and stuff like that.
But
Yeah, he did say it was better. But just learning.
Yeah,
He talked about
learning by doing.
He would go to bed and think about the games he was playing or making and stuff.
The
But
administrator wants to know, where did he learn to polish leather jackets to a high sheen?
That's actually a really good
Because
question.
he does have on point leather jackets.
yeah.
He does. I've wanted them. many
Anyways,
times.
obviously they get into Skyrim and they get into Starfield, especially. And
Sorry, can we just talk about Skyrim because it kind of leads into Starfield?
It absolutely
but
does.
One thing I thought super fascinating, and this is more just like me, just finding it the what would you call them, the fascinations of game development. They talk about different paths of making an open world game, right?
Yeah.
He talked about there's open world games where you can you accept a quest and then the world pauses and that quest gives you a curated outcome, right? Yeah. And then he talked about
or a curated experience.
Yeah, curated experience, yeah.
Handcrafted.
And he says that has its benefits, but he says he tends to lean towards the other one, which is, and this is when he talked about Skyrim a little bit, the world is always happening around you no matter what you're doing. And that's when they started talking about programming and stuff. The further away you get, they're obviously on like a low, so they're not doing as much, but they're still doing something, if that makes sense, when they were talking about AI and stuff like that. So basically, it leads to the world is always moving, and it kind of like
makes
it's like
it
real
feel like
life.
the world is alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And
which
that is the
it's
magic,
fascinating.
and that is the magic of Skyrim.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure. Skyrim does have this just feel to it. And I think Todd Howard referred to it as tone. It has a tone that he likes, and he really focused on tone. And one of the things he said, when you're inside a quest, for instance, or you're inside a building and you step outside, time, they really slowed down time to where you're listening to the wind, or you're looking at the sunset, or watching the water go by, or seeing a dragon. Remember the first time a dragon flew by you in Skyrim?
Picked up a giant. And stuff, yeah. Well, it's fascinating. I used to have the same type of fascination in Overwatch when Jeff Kaplan would do those like one take interviews, because the way you have to think about developing a game is really interesting. It's not just like, oh, we'll make a character and he'll do this. Like the way they have to think about developing a game is far more complex than you would initially think.
Well, the Jeff Kaplan one too is really fascinating because they had to develop a game. A specific character made it extremely complicated to make balanced maps, and that's Farah. Farah can fly around the map, and when you add up to that point, we really didn't have flyable characters in PvP games. Mm-hmm. It was team deathmatch, and you didn't really have somebody flying around. Flying around changes the dynamic of that map.
Of everything, of different characters, of map design, of game modes, right?
Like, you have to think about things that maybe your players don't really even understand or know what to think about. So I love. I'm so sad Jeff Kaplan's no longer.
Yeah. Well, and this interview's a lot of the same thing, just him explaining what they did in order to make their games feel, like you said, have a certain tone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tone is what he really focuses on. That's a good segue into Starfield, because he really talks a lot about tone in Starfield. And one of our debates on the systems. So what he talked about here is that the systems here will have levels. So it's 1 to 100 is what it sounds like, or at least he said up to 100. So when you're in a system, it'll be a certain level, which will dictate a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And he talked about two different types of, because we've talked about this. Well, I've said this, I don't want planets if they're just freaking randomly generated and there's nothing there and it doesn't feel alive. Yeah, procedurally generated. Like, what does that matter? And he did say there is a difference between like the main quest that is very, very highly crafted, including the planets you're on, etc., and then going to explore a desolate planet somewhere,
which I believe are to an extent procedurally generated.
Yes, but with handcrafted tiles, which is really interesting. But he did say, let me mute my phone.
He must be Todd Howard texting.
It is Todd Howard. He's like, hey, you're getting this. Oh, it is Todd Howard. Sorry, Todd. I'll get back to you. Yeah, but he did say that they will all, like, there'll be a reason to be there, right? So different planets will have different resources, which is interesting.
Well, that makes sense. That's the universe.
Yeah,
that's
well,
the
and
universe.
that's what he actually mentioned. That he says, well, if you think about our universe, you think about Jupiter and all these planets, and he talked about what's there. Nothing's there but resources, right? So he talked, and that's when he kind of talked about we're gonna have this, and he says it's making sure the player knows.
Yeah.
Right. He says we're gonna have this curated quest that you can do if you go over here, but he also said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said there's there's kind of a beauty to dropping on a planet and knowing you're alone.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
which-
exactly
which-
what
yeah.
he said. He said they wanted to create. How are you going to render a planet, or render certain planets that you can land on? He said they debated, like, should we only have some planets you can land on and some you can't? And he said, no, that wouldn't feel right. But yeah, they want to lean on the tone, and that tone was loneliness on those planets.
Yeah.
Similar to the tone of Skyrim when time slows down and you're there to experience, the sounds of the planet and stuff like that. Very interesting.
But that's why it was interesting that he hit on the point. He said we want to make sure the player knows that they can go to these fully curated planets that are here, but then there's also these other planets like that are maybe just resource planets, right?
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it a while ago when we talked about like different Goldilocks planets and stuff like that. But anyway, you'll be able to land on these planets and get the resources. But like he said, there's a beauty to knowing you're alone, which I also wonder if there will be kind of different things that will take you to those not as habitable planets, I guess, or not as populated planets that will then lead you to different things, but-
Every sci-fi needs a Zelnaga. Every sci-fi needs a race that is millions years old since past, that they leave relics behind that has a story that you can learn from. I mean, I don't know of any sci-fi universe that doesn't.
Well, even in
have that.
in Skyrim, they have items, right, that you could go and send you on collection items. That's
they
gonna
have the
be-
Elder Scrolls.
That's going to be in Starfield for sure.
You have the Prometheans in Halo, right? And who's the Forerunners?
The Forerunners, yeah.
And StarCraft, it was the Zelnaga. So I would assume that an easy way to get past the just nothing on the planet is to have a relic somewhere that you can find that has a storyline or something.
Well, and what he also talked about is, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he say you will be able to base build or build an outpost
Yeah,
on these
build an
planets?
outpost on these
So
planets, yeah.
maybe you just find a planet that you like and just build out your outpost.
Dude, I'm so
Which
excited.
if they iterate off the outpost system that they had in Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, it's going to be really fun. Because I lost a lot of time.
Yeah. You think there's going to be a Minuteman coming in
Yeah.
and saying, hey, you got to get back to base.
Well,
Things are getting sketchy.
I hope at the minimum it's the same as kind of Fallout 4, Fallout 76. I would assume they've kind of iterated on it, but the customization you could do that, putting up guns and stuff, or just building your own bases was really cool in those games.
In Fallout 4.
Being able to find your own planet that, it may be empty or whatever, obviously not every planet's going to be just desolate, but to find your own planet with certain resources on it and then build your own house within it, kind of like a No Man's Sky. You really kind of built your own thing on your own planet. No Man's Sky, I think, is really cool.
Yeah, one thing he talked about is they toned down the space travel difficulty.
Didn't we know that a little bit ago?
Super intense. They did talk about that before, yeah.
They were
But they tweaked it and really toned it down because he said continually getting stranded in space and having to put out a beacon and wait for someone to come pick you up just isn't fun.
Yep. Yeah. Which, I guess has its place in those hardcore games. But,
Well, that existed in Elite Dangerous. That's one of the reasons the community was such a cool community to play with. They had a lot of people that would just
travel around with gas cans.
basically around in the new areas where new players would get stranded because they didn't think to fuel up their ships, and they'd come in, hey guys, yeah, it's cool, here, let me fill you up. All right, take care. There were people that would randomly do that. Nice people in the gaming community,
Yeah.
and Elite Dangerous would do that. So I get it. Getting stranded in space has got to suck.
I wonder if they're going to have some difficulty still to space
Oh yeah, no, he
travel,
said
you know what I mean?
he said yeah, it's still all that they did was dial it back a little bit. So
Yeah, but how far?
yeah, that's the question. Another interesting thing that he brought up is the exclusivity factor with Xbox, that this is their first time really being exclusive. While it's not new, for instance, the DLC for Skyrim was exclusive to Xbox, but them being solely on Xbox, he says that they do feel the pressure. He does feel the pressure of creating a game that is a console seller, right? That's a marquee title for Microsoft.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. When we say exclusive to Xbox, we basically mean exclusive to Game Pass. So the game will be on PC, correct?
Yeah, Xbox and PC.
Yeah. So, but
the same thing.
console wise, it'll only be on Xbox. 'Cause I believe you'll be able to buy it through Steam and stuff like that, depending on how you want it. I don't know if will it be on Steam. I don't know.
He made me want to, talking about mods, he made me want to get in and try modding some Skyrim stuff.
But I do think Bethesda is known for they have a certain amount of bugs in their games.
Oh, yeah.
Having to develop for less platforms could help with that, you know.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess, you know.
He mentioned why a lot of those bugs existed in the beginning of what he was talking about. It's the fine line between having an open world and giving the player
full control
versus a linear experience. That makes it so a lot of things like that are going to pop up when you give a player complete control. You're going to find some bugs. You're going to find some walls. He mentioned putting
crates on a wall that you can now
up
access.
and then you can just jump over.
Yeah.
And that's yes, Fallout has had some doozies.
Yeah.
Bethesda, I mean, I think that's what he would. I got the impression that he would rather have bugs than enclose the experience to the player
and take away player control. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I really hope they nail that Skyrim exploration field. To this day, there has not been a game that has made me want to go off the beaten path and just explore what was there like Skyrim did.
The Witcher did that to me.
No, I don't. I would say yes, The Witcher did it, but Skyrim, I feel
Skyrim was your first time.
No, but has did The Witcher do it to the extent that Skyrim did? I feel like what The Witcher did
it better.
Was make you seek out quests.
I think The Witcher did. Well,
whereas what Skyrim does is make you just want to explore the world. Find hidden treasures.
I think, and I may be biased because The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games, which there's a little bit of news about The Witcher we can talk about later.
Yeah.
No, I think The Witcher took what Skyrim did and amplified it. So I don't know if you want to necessarily...
Disagree.
No, I don't want to if you necessarily... I don't want if you...
The reason I've had to restart The Witcher 20 times is because I
couldn't get out of the tutorial.
Because I don't get that.
But that's
same, like, I could go over here, but there's nothing really for me to do over here.
There is. You just had to finish the Bloody Baron.
You don't even have to finish that.
I did finish the Bloody Baron.
I would say more so in Skyrim, but in The Witcher to an extent. You have to get out of White Orchard, but once you get out, you can go wherever you want.
The other thing is...
The thing that The Witcher did cool is, same as Skyrim, you can go and find a cave and find a rock monster that just wants to be friends with normal people, but no one wants to be friends with him because he's a rock monster. And then you go through his quest line. Or you go to The Witcher and you find a village, you banish them of their monsters, this random village, you come back, I don't know, real time a week later, and that village has new items they sell to you because they've come back because you've cleared the monsters out.
So I'm going to say The Witcher did it better, but Skyrim did it more. So
okay,
I would say Skyrim
right.
had more out there, but I would say the quality-wise, The Witcher did.
But even for instance, so like remember after just the intro, like you're in the crate, you're almost getting beheaded, and then a dragon comes and kills everybody,
or a Thomas the Tank Train, depending on
or Thomas the Tank
mod you had.
And then you escape. Now this is like the first 10 minutes of the game, and you walk down. You're on the side of a mountain, basically, and you're walking down this path through the forest, and immediately, like, you hear the wind, you hear, like, what's off in the distance, you see how vast the world is, everything looks unique, and you're like, oh, I'll just go off this way. I'll go off that way. Witcher doesn't have that.
I get what you're saying. I think you're talking about atmosphere.
Atmosphere. But it's not just atmosphere. It's all of the above combined.
I do think first person adds to that atmosphere, but I guess you could play Skyrim in third person if you wanted to, but
no.
I don't know. I would say Witcher has atmosphere. I would agree with you that Skyrim probably had better atmosphere, but as opposed to like world building and exploring the world, I think Witcher took inspiration from Skyrim.
Oh, for sure.
And if you think about it, actually, I actually didn't know this until recently because I was looking because there's some Witcher news and there's a lot of things going on. When The Witcher 2 came out, Assassins of Kings, it actually, for the most part, I believe, directly competed with Skyrim, and Skyrim just overshadowed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I wonder, you could see that they take a lot of inspiration of what Skyrim did. I think a lot of open world games do.
Skyrim though, so here's the difference. I think Skyrim is like a world explorer. The Witcher is linear missions inside of a world.
No, I disagree. I
with
think
that 100%.
Mark didn't even play the main mission. He just went around doing the
I
card
have
game.
120 hours not
But
playing
I didn't
the
say
story.
main mission. I said linear missions. Side quests are still missions.
Yeah, but you have that in
No.
Skyrim as well.
Yeah, no.
No, but
I
in
think that's
Skyrim, you've
incorrect.
got dungeons. Like you'll go off
you
and
have-
you'll just come across a dungeon.
But that's what I'm
to
saying.
do.
Instead of going
And
into
that dungeon, in and of itself, is the story without being a specific quest necessarily.
That- I mean,
but The Witcher has
but
that
better.
too. That's what I'm saying.
And I would argue, but better.
and that's
Oh,
what I
really?
think. I think The Witcher does that better.
I think Skyrim has more of that. I think Witcher's is just better at it.
Like I said, I used the
Just
rock
less,
guy.
less and better.
That's a real thing. I was walking down. I went into this cave, and there was this rock troll, and I was gonna kill him because he's a rock troll. But then he was like, "No, I just want to be normal, right?" Like you end up doing this whole quest with him and stuff.
I mean, that's one of the reasons, speaking of that, in Witcher, why I didn't play the campaign is because I would find these caves, I would find these wells, I would find these random locations, and I would go in there, and there would be a story involved with wherever I'm at, and I would find some Witcher armor or Witcher weapons, and I created my own. I actually had a spreadsheet. I'm a spreadsheet gamer. They didn't have an achievement in this game for this, but I wanted to capture the school of the school of the wolf, all the school of the ravens. I don't know. I can't remember all the schools that they had, but of the Witcher schools. They had the specific amulets, they had the swords, they had the boots, and I wanted to go through and track all those down, and those stories, and they were weapons of. Sometimes they were weapons of Witchers that have been killed, and you learn about their story. And I don't know, David. I really think that Witcher did it better. I think the stories were better.
Sure.
But I feel like Skyrim just
Maybe it's
was
the difference then.
more of it wherever you.
Maybe it's the difference of first person and third person.
well, it could
like
be.
Jordan
Well,
said,
and
too.
like I said, like Witcher 1 and 2 are far more linear, and like I was telling you, The Witcher 2 came out in May of 2011.
I was cold, but now I'm hot.
Oh yeah. The Witcher 2
Hot flashes.
The Witcher 2 came out in May of 2011, and then Skyrim came out in November of 2011. And I remember Skyrim's release date because it was 11/11/11. I'll never forget that. But anyway, I think they saw what Skyrim did. Well, they came out a few months before, right? But I think they saw what Skyrim did, and I think they took that. And like I said, I think a lot of games took that and put it into their games, which is why I agree with you. I think The Witcher does do that open world, but I think they iterated and went further, right?
Sure.
Which makes me excited for Starfield and the next Elder Scrolls. Like, what are they going to do with their open world?
Well, that's why I'm excited for this. If they can nail that, like imagine being able to explore a galaxy
Yeah.
with that kind of. So hopefully they nail it. I hope they do. I hope it's not a disappointment. Also, the other thing is, how do you live up to the hype?
Well, that's what's hard.
Your last, well, not even Starfield hype. I'm talking Elder Scrolls 6 hype, because Skyrim is viewed as a top game of all time.
Yeah.
How
Well,
do
I
you
think-
live up to that hype for Elder Scrolls?
I mean, I think
6?
it's just like look at Fallout 4. Remember Fallout 4 came out and it was kind of polarizing. Some people really liked it. Some people preferred Fallout 3 or whatever, or they preferred the original Fallouts and stuff. But you can't deny that Fallout 4 was still a good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fallout 76, I feel like there was a little bit more reason to be upset because the game was legitimately broken.
That's a different format.
Yeah,
though,
the
too.
game was legitimately broken at launch. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're still going to get a high quality, good game.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Yeah, I hope so anyway.
'Tis the hope.
And then I think, and this is probably where you're leading into, David, I think once this game launches early next year, I think probably about 5 to 6 months afterwards, we'll start getting more details on Elder Scrolls 6.
I hope so. Although he did say they're not even close.
Yeah,
Well,
I say it's a lot.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this one is this one's been in development since he said right after Fallout 4 launch, so that's 2016 or 17, so it's like a 6-year development cycle for this game.
Yeah.
So if they start, I mean, they're probably in very early pre-productions they just use stock footage of a field for their teaser trailer.
Oh, for Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
6.
So
with
they're
music.
with music, yeah.
Which he did say music is one of the first things that they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's all they had.
But I don't know. I don't mind waiting
down
for
to
Elder
the-
Scrolls 6 because I feel like if a studio spreads themselves too thin, you run into issues like Fallout 76 or
here's-
No Man's Sky or something. Like I'm okay with 90% of the studio working on Starfield, and then once it launches, they'll shift over.
Yeah. Well, regardless, I think it's a really good interview, guys. Go listen to it. There's a lot more than just even what we're talking about.
Well, didn't you his comment about Elder Scrolls?
What about Elder Scrolls?
Didn't he say it'll be played for generations?
He said it'll be played for 20 years, or for decades.
The next Elder Scroll.
Yeah, because Skyrim is still one of their top engaged games, top play, and it's because of the modding community. And he talks about it. He talks about how, so what they do with mods is we want to help you become a professional modder. We want that to be your full-time job, modding our game. So we will, we help you. We want to make that easy for you to do. Like, yes, make me want to go mod some stuff for Skyrim. But
Well, I mean, when you have Thomas the Train.
Oh, that was the
dragons,
funniest thing. That was great. That mod, they should hire that modder just for like, hey, just design a quest and let him do whatever he wants.
And he has like the angry face as he comes in.
Yeah, when he lands on the thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. Well, no, it's exciting. Yeah.
I would like to
and we're
know-
not too guys. It's already December. We're not
It's
too far
December.
away from this game. What was the release date on it?
What's your game that you're excited for? That I don't know what the release date is. January, February?
I know it's soon. It's first.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, look it up.
What's the game you're excited for that comes out like December 13th? I forget.
Well, there's an update I'm excited for on
what's
December
that?
14th.
What's that? The Witcher?
That's the Witcher 3 next gen update.
Okay, let's talk about that.
And hell, let me tell you something. I've made a decision, guys.
Tell me.
I've gone on a journey this week, and I came out the other end with a mindset. When the next gen update comes out, I'm gonna go for all achievements platinum Witcher 3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All achievements.
I'm doing it. Now I don't know how long it's gonna take me. I'm not gonna like lose my life to
When
it.
you
but
say
it's-
platinum, do you mean hard difficulty? What do you
No,
mean?
no. So platinum is it's a Sony term, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's getting every single achievement that is available for the game.
Just
So I'm doing that for The Witcher, and yes, that does mean hard difficulty because you do have to beat the game on Death March to get that achievement.
So I've tried. It's very
So
hard.
this is what I'm doing right now. I'm prepping myself. I'm currently upgrading the Ursine armor to its highest mastercraft because I believe it's the highest armor in the game. And you can go into New Game Plus on a higher difficulty.
Whoa, wait,
While
but
still
it's
getting-
NG Plus does not mean it's harder.
No, you still select your difficulty. The only reason they give you a New Game Plus is if you wanted to play the game again. So you can go, you hit New Game Plus, and it goes, what save file do you want to use? You click your save file, and then you say what difficulty you want. So I could even do a New Game Plus on easy if I wanted to, but I'm going to crank it to Death March, and I have looked up, you still can get the Death March achievement on New Game Plus. So and I've looked up what carries over into New Game Plus. New armor is one of them, so having higher end armor and
About the
stuff,
Gwent
yeah.
cards.
I don't know about the coin cards,
Because
actually.
you have to beat that tournament to get one of the cards. You have to beat the
You have to
tournament.
win the
I beat the tournament.
Yeah. So
You have to beat it. So
Yeah,
that's a lot of. I mean,
I'm
saving and loading. There's a lot of saving because, well, on one of them you can't
Yeah.
save between like for 3 games, and
They did
that's
that
what
on
makes
purpose.
that hard. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed they did that on
But
purpose.
no, I'm excited for it. It's December 14th. It looks really good. PC is getting it as well. We're getting a lot of quality of life. It's actually a full-fledged update, but it's not just graphical. We're getting a lot of quality of life issues. We're getting a lot of quality of life features like different camera angles, photo modes, which is great. And they're also adding in some new quests that kind of I don't want to say tie in, but kind of go along with the Netflix series. I don't know how long, and then of course in CD Projekt Red fashion, they always do put stuff in their patches that they don't talk about, different surprises and stuff like that. So I think The Witcher 3 is another game like Skyrim. I think The Witcher 3 will be played and talked about for years.
yeah. Of
Well, it's
course.
still talked about.
It still is, yeah. The upgrade's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
No
David, you should
loading screens.
start again
Maybe I'll start again. Yeah. Maybe I'll start again.
in White Orchard, New Game Plus.
Yeah, maybe I will. Although I've been playing multiplayer shooters, i.e. Halo Infinite. I downloaded Call of Duty. I've not jumped in yet because I want to jump in with you guys.
Yeah, the DMZ. I
But-
hate it and love it.
It's nice to just be back, just play a match, couple matches. Also, I think I'm used to playing with you guys, and so when I jump in, I'm jumping, and my level's not that high, so I've not played that much. I'm jumping in with easy players,
Yeah.
and I'm just crushing
Yeah.
everybody. Makes me feel good.
Mark had a lot of fun to play with me the other day.
Why?
I basically what's the word? I used them to finish all my quests. It was great.
Yeah. Well, so Jordan's the party leader.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, which doesn't mean much except starting the game.
Yeah.
Right. But we'd be, you know, in any game where there's objectives and you're working as a team, there's a discussion that goes, hey, we could go over there and do this. And we would have we had our powwow of what challenges we are working on
Yeah.
and what to do. And we the other two players, basically me and someone else, said, we need to go do this. And Jordan's like, huh. Now let's go do this. No, you didn't even say no. You said, okay, I'm headed here. And he goes and he does this objective. And so we follow him. And he did that 3 times until we mentioned. And Jordan had no memory of us telling him what we were working on.
Maybe like you just conveniently broke out.
I have this new philosophy when playing DMZ. It's my Tarkov philosophy. Like, it's like, hey, you know what? I could either get mad or I could just not care.
He tunes it like when we talk about Overwatch and you glaze over, you start working on your laptop.
Sure, yeah.
Whenever we're talking about stuff we need to get accomplished in that game,
Jordan just tunes you out.
He tuned us out. He didn't even know we were talking.
I did get a lot done.
And he's
that
like,
night,
"Wait,
though.
what? You guys? Yeah, you got
So
it."
after another 2 weeks now, being in DMZ, playing it, liking it as much as you liked it then, or has it worn off?
I really like it.
I really like it, and I can definitively say now that they do need to reevaluate the AI.
100%.
And that's not-
Why is it too hard?
Yeah, no,
there
no,
are AI
it's-
that can stare at you and do nothing, and then there are AI that appear out of nowhere and tap you right in the head.
So
You're dead.
it is like Tarkov in that sense, but no, it's not that like, oh, Jordan, you just don't like a hardcore experience. No, it's fine that they're hard. The problem is their spawning rates and where they spawn. We have multiple video evidence. The most famous one is I literally go in and clear a room like a boss. Like me and Mark dominated this household. And then I walk in, I go, okay, good, there's the safe. Room is cleared, right? Walk up to the safe. As I'm hitting the button on Mark's screen, an AI appears, turns, and starts shooting me.
Yeah. And when we say start shooting him, that means 2 taps to the head.
Yeah, and
within
I'm
a
gone.
half a second, and he's down.
Yeah. And there's plenty of recordings like that. This is what I think they should do. Or at least explore, right? Because maybe there's stuff I'm not thinking of. But anyway, going in solo is incredibly hard with the AI, especially if you get like boxed down, right? And I'm not necessarily against their difficulty. Like I'm fine with the armored AI and stuff like that. I really just think it's the spawn rate and the spawns themselves. What I think should happen is you spawn the map with the amount of AI. That's fine. Just spawn the map with the AI in there. I think the only way AI should respawn is through those helicopter drops, because that says, okay, more
When
AI
you're trying to extract?
No. So AI randomly come in on helicopters,
okay.
right? I think maybe they
Because do
should.
they spawn at that extraction? I've watched lots of players play, and every time you extract, AI comes after you.
Well, it's hit and miss. They like spawn randomly behind a rock or right in front of you, or they don't. Like it's just hit and miss. Like the spawn system it's basically, imagine the multiplayer spawn system of them spawning behind you,
After you kill them, the same
but
person spawns you.
AI.
It's
So
pretty frustrating. Which I heard, by the way, which is really funny. If Call of Duty, if what makes a Call of Duty game great is the rage inducement factor, this is the best. This is
a
the best
masterpiece.
This is the best Call of Duty out there.
So no, I think what they should do, and this is just a out of the box idea, right? Just spitballing while we were talking. When you want to spawn new AI, they should only come in via helicopters. And that tells you as a player, okay, there's the helicopter, here it's coming, blah, 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 whatever, right? And then you're saying, I guess the counter to that would be like, oh, then you can shoot the helicopter down. And my counter to that is, so who cares? If you have the equipment to shoot it down, shoot it down.
Yeah,
Right?
it's AI.
It's AI, yeah.
They're not players. They're AI. This is not.
Yeah. And then another counter to that, or another fix to that, you bring in multiple helicopters at once, right? Like bring in 2 or 3 helicopters, right? But the problem right now is I don't feel like there's a good balance of PvP and AI. Like
So
it feels like
you're playing
I'm
way more AI than PvP.
100%, right? And I don't know about you, Mark. I'm not against that. Like I'm okay with the current, like, okay, I battle AI most of the map, and then like, yeah, we go to hotspots, or if we're looking for PvP, it's a little bit more like we find it. But it does feel like coming across players is rare.
Unless you're extracting. I feel like
even then, I feel like, let's say we take 10 extracts, I feel like we find players 2 or 3 of them.
I have found
So like
when
a
I'm
20%?
extracting with 4 minutes or less time
Oh, okay.
left,
Well, yeah, that's because there's only one left.
yeah, then it gets real.
Yeah,
and there
I don't
are
know,
a lot
maybe,
of teams there.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong in this, but I don't know.
Have you guys, same as in Tarkov, can you like wave to someone and hope they don't shoot you?
There is proximity chat, yeah.
Oh, that proximity chat. Yeah. Have you experienced kindness yet?
No, people just shoot to kill.
Not
man.
on Call of Duty.
Yeah, people just shoot to kill.
So it's not Tarkov where it's
Well, Tarkov did
benefits your survival, both of you.
Tarkov did it the opposite way, where no one had proximity chat for the first like 4 years, and then all of a sudden they gave it to us, and everybody was like, "Hey, we're just cool," you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
but also,
Well, and there's a lot more.
Tarkov is more punishing than this game too. So it's that.
There are quests in Tarkov that everybody hates, and when you say, "Hey, I'm working on this quest," people go, "Whoa, okay, yeah, it's cool. Just move along. Don't point your gun at me. I get what you're going through. We've all been there.
You do your thing,
Good
I'll do
luck."
mine. And then after about 3 weeks, if you're me, I usually just end up shooting them anyway.
There was this one time. Oh my gosh, Jordan. He terrifies me. There's this. We have a full squad of 5. Was there? I think there was a full 5. We're a 5 stack. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one guy in there, and he does this like he's 2 doors away, and I'm the one talking to him. I feel like an a-hole for doing this.
He's Kevin Spacey and Samuel L. Jackson from The Negotiator.
I'm negotiating. I'm like, he's like, "Hey guys, I can hear you. I'm just on the other side of my door. I put my gun away. I have no guns. I really just need to get this. You know, he's a scav. He's a scav of all things."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool. Hey," and I say, "Hey, do you want to take the scav exit?" And what the scav exit is, David, it's we all benefit from that.
Sure.
You can only exit with a scav with you, and then you get benefits from it later. Like there was no reason to kill this guy at all. I'm like, yeah, so come with us. So I'm like, we're right here, we're in this room, come with us, we'll just go extract and we'll get the bonus. And he's all, okay, cool. As soon as he opens the door, Jordan.
No, he was. I think he was walking with us because I remember we were playing with Jonathan. And he turned his character around and goes, "Did you just kill it?"
Yeah, Jordan he opens his first eye contact. Jordan has his shotgun, blows his head right off.
Oh,
and with Tarkov, it's instant stop of community. You know,
so
he
the
can no
guy
longer talk to us. You're dead. And I'm like looking at Jordan like,
Can he hear you? Can he hear you guys?
no, not after he died.
I'm like, I felt so dirty. He had nothing of value. Jordan got to that point. Jordan got to that point. Yeah, basically,
there's a point in Tarkov where it's kill or be killed.
Either you're the hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And Jordan was Harvey Dent. You know, he lived long enough to become the villain. Oh my gosh,
That is hilarious.
I felt to this day.
Okay. So see that story moment right there? It sounds like Tark or Call of Duty DMZ doesn't have that.
There's far less
correct
PvP
100%.
interaction. Now, I think that's due to a lot of things, right? I think that's due to design. I think it's designed that way. But I think the size of the map is...
map, and they're trying to design this game for mainstream. A lot of people don't like that Tarkov vibe.
Like that guy we met, he's probably never played Civ.
Yeah, he right-clicked and, uninstalled. Like, was that no, Jordan. Now you created a villain. That was his origin story.
That guy.
To be fair, I think it was like one of those days where it's like I had been shot and it's like you're angry.
One of those days.
Yeah, one of those years. It's just you're angry.
So Tarkov is a much more hardcore experience. This is not Tarkov by any means, mainly because it's for the masses.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's like Tarkov for the masses, but because they put quests in, they have a questing system where you get rewards and stuff from it, similar to Tarkov, but it's not. It's more or less more for a general mass audience than Tarkov is like.
Which I think is. I mean, I don't know. I think the PvP engagements we've had are fun.
They are.
You know
fun,
what I mean? Because it just feels like. I mean, and honestly, it feels closer to Warzone because if you have your 3 armor plates and stuff like that, right? You don't have to worry about bullets or necessarily certain guns being better than others. I mean, there's a little bit of that, but like, if someone is decked out and this is where a difference to Tarkov comes in, and we've also experienced this too. If someone's decked out like fully. Best backpack, best armor, and let's just say a really high-profile gun. They don't have. I don't feel in DMZ that they have that much of an advantage over someone just in fresh.
I agree.
And I think that's because of like the Call of Duty playstyle, right? I think the same thing is in Warzone. If you're a better player, well, I mean, obviously in any game, if you're a better player, you're going to win. But and this is the difference between Tarkov and this game, I feel like even if we have only one armor plate and we're going up against a team that has 3 armor plates, we can take that engagement and we can still hold our own, even if we have the lesser equipment, right? Guns, armor, grenades, whatever you talk about. Whereas in Tarkov, if someone's wearing tier 6, there's only a certain amount of bullets that you know.
There's also a respect factor when you're like, okay, damn, he brought in 600,000 ruples worth of gear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
There are, like we talked about before, there are things that I think DMZ can do better. Like, I really think they should just go with an overall stash system as opposed to what they have right now. I think that would be cooler. It would make tier 3 plate armors more valuable. I don't know if they'll do that. If they want to do that, I mean, I guess that would lean towards the more hardcore, but I don't think so. Anyway, the first and foremost thing I want them to do is reevaluate the AI, right? I don't necessarily know what the fix is, but I do know it's broken in the respect that they can spawn behind me and they just come in endless hordes. And it's not endless hordes like, oh, there was 50 AI in that village.
They're spawning in
They're
front
literally
of me
spawning,
after a fight. I'm wounded after a fight, and he spawns in front of me and kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Or
maybe you take the Tarkov approach. How does AI spawns work in there? It's a time thing, right? There's a set amount of AI on the field, and then at a certain time it respawns AI. But see, the problem with that is the maps are much, much smaller.
Much smaller, and I would argue that that's one of the things that gives Tarkov its feel is
small maps.
Well, the AI is not all AI. The scavs that come in are also
players,
possibly populated by actual players, which makes it a unique experience.
It's
for sure.
David, you'll enjoy. It's a really fun game. I'm
excited to jump in with you guys.
I was telling this to Mark. I am blown away, and I'm going to say this. I'm blown away at how much content this Call of Duty game has.
Oh, yeah.
Between campaign, regular multiplayer, DMZ, Warzone, and they're all, I mean, I'm not going to say they're all like an outstanding experience. I mean, I've not played much Warzone. I've been stuck in DMZ, but DMZ isn't perfect, but it's good. Like, you have all this content, and all the content baseline is good. This Call of Duty is really well done.
Do you think this is the model? So do you think the Battlefield will follow this model and have, like you said last week, they kind of left it gimmicky. They didn't go all in like Call of Duty has done.
Battlefield doesn't necessarily adapt to other players' game.
Well, but where Call of Duty, so for instance, Call of Duty has something for everyone. They have a game version in 3 of the most popular type of games right now, right?
And even within those game versions, the third person mode, which I know in Discord, people were talking, some people like third person, some people don't, but just to have it in there, like third person Warzone for the Fortnite players who like it, you know, when we played third person Warzone, we did relatively well. The third person like the amount of content they have in this game is...
Yeah, they did.
Before we move on,
yeah,
since you brought up Discord, I do have to shout out longtime member of the community.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Castle Will Kill.
Got a little famous this week, didn't he?
Who got under the skin of Lamar Jackson this week, and Lamar Jackson unloaded on him on Twitter and made I'm just like browsing news, sports news, like I do, and almost I see like this news story on Lamar Jackson, and then I see a copy of the tweet, and it's Castle Will Kill, and I was like, Castle Will Kill?
Him and Lamar,
I go over and I tag him in Discord, and he made some news. Caused some news this week. It's the XoneBros right there, baby.
Yeah. Making waves,
baby.
Good for you, Castle Will Kill, though. Good for you. So.
Anyways, very cool. Shout out to Castle Will Kill. Hope you've had a good week.
Yeah.
I do want to mention one thing, and let's pull this up. Rose City Gamer submitted this question earlier today. And he said, I'll do the second part of his question. He says, at 9 p.m. Pacific time tonight, Marvel's Midnight Sun is playable for pre-order purchases. Anybody jumping? I don't think any of us has pre-ordered it. It does look good.
Should we get it? Is it co-op? I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah, it does look good. No, that's not the game, Spicy. The game, Vampire Survivors.
That's a fun game.
Have you played it?
Everybody's played it.
Oh, how come I have not? Spicy, have you played it?
I have not.
See, I didn't even know about it until this question. Rose City Gamer, it's on Game Pass.
It's another...
The Metacritic score is a 94.
Yeah, it's another, like, it's not Valheim, but it's another, like, Valheim story where it was, like, just small. I think Vampire Survivor might have been, like, one dude game's only like $5 on Steam, blew up.
Blue.
Oh, I've
it
seen
looks
this game.
So fun. It looks so fun. It's on Game Pass. Go grab it. So
See, I didn't know it came to Game Pass. That's a good steal,
yeah.
man.
So the goal here is to survive the night. That's it. And then as you level up, you get better weapons. You got to make choices, right? What do I get here? And you just need to survive the night. This game, I've not played it. Roasty Gamer says Vampire Survivors, one word, addiction. And that's what
it is.
Everybody is saying.
I know streamer Asmongold, he played it for a little while because like you said, you play it and you kind of get addicted. So Mark, this would be your style of game.
It totally is.
I think you'd like it. Yeah, it's
I've seen people play it. Yeah, it looks fun.
It's cool. I have it. It's on Steam. Now it's on Xbox. That's great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it available like right
Game
now?
Pass available right now. Go grab it. Go grab it. Yeah, this looks.
What was the question? You brought up a question and then never.
Oh, just if
answered
we're
it.
getting Midnight Suns. He tied this to this.
So like
pre-order.
let me tell you guys my life right now.
Yeah, tell me your.
So
I'm into speaking of Marvel, I'm into Marvel Snap at the moment. Holy shit!
yeah, David.
I don't even like Marvel.
David played a game before the show.
Oh, I'm like blown away. I'm telling Spicy. I think this is the game for you. I genuinely believe. I know right now, even I can sense it. Spicy inside of his head is thinking, no, it's not.
Well, so here's the thing.
No, it's not.
A lot
But
of
it
people.
is. I'm telling you.
How people approach me, like how I'm gonna like this game.
Sure.
When you say it's a Hearthstone killer, it's like, oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
I'm still playing Hearthstone 8 years after launch. Oh, okay.
No,
and
this
then you
is
say
good.
Marvel, and I'm like, okay, I'm about all marveled out. You know what I mean? Like seriously, just back off with the Marvel. There's a lot of things going against it.
The things
and-
going for it.
And I am kind of a weird hipster in the way that I don't like popular things as much as other people do.
Sure.
And apparently this is a really popular game I'm getting.
I don't know that it's super popular necessarily.
I've been
I think
told
it's popular
by
among the.
several
but
people
everybody's
that-
playing it.
Everybody
playing it.
that has talked to me about this, Spicy likes Hearthstone. This is going to win a Hearthstone duel. You know, like it's like,
It's going to win a Hearthstone duel.
like it's better than It's going to be a Hearthstone killer.
I genuinely think.
And that's like,
I don't
okay,
think it'll
yeah.
be a killer. I think Hearthstone will adjust because of this game.
Can you
This
play it
game
on your PC or is it only on your phone?
Play it on PC. Play it on phone. Play wherever you. Why do these games not come to console? By the way, I would
have
love
no
to play
idea.
these games on console.
Yeah, I actually
Gwent did. We saw.
And
Well,
if
that
you
went,
tell
maybe
me
that's
it's
why.
if you tell me it's if you tell me it's the controls, I lose all faith in you as a developer.
There's no controls. It's literally A/B.
Like
you could use two buttons in that game.
You could be lazy,
Yeah.
and just put like a little cursor on it. I mean, if you want to get really creative, you can have the bumpers do quick. Put it. Look, okay, I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not trying to insult any developers or anything, but I'm saying if I can make a viable control scheme on an Xbox controller for Escape from Tarkov,
Look at this level, by the way. Look at this level.
then it can be done for a card game.
Agreed. Look at this level, though. Oh, this game.
So does he have to punch his way out or what do we
He just has to
Just
survive,
survive the night.
Just survive the night.
Pretty,
Right,
yeah, it
survive
looks
it.
really fun.
Looks like a ton of fun. So Dieter Pinklage says, I'm playing Snap right now. He says it's not a Hearthstone killer, but it uses a similar part of the brain. Surprisingly strategic. Yeah, that's what I like. What I like about it is there are 3 locations on the map. You have 6 turns, period. You gotta own 2 of the 3 locations, which all that means is you have to have a higher hit score than your opponent to win the match. And it's
Are they going to have deck types?
this simplicity. I'm sure eventually
Like,
they
this
will,
is my
but
Marvel
I
build
don't
deck.
think your deck type. What I'm saying is the part of the brain that
That's what they call it, the
scratches
Marvel mill.
itch here. No, is that it masks perhaps there are deck types. I don't know. I'm not that far into it, but it masks. To me, it's about the strat. It focuses more on strategy than deck type because of that. Because what happens is each of those locations on your map, out of the 3, have abilities. So like one will drop and say you can't put any cards on this until turn 5. The other one will say you can't put any level 1, 2, or 3 cards on this, which are your mana, right? Basically, right? And so it forces you to make decisions, and you got to think, how am I going to play this game? What am I going to do here? So to me, where Hearthstone is all about understanding your deck and the type of deck you have, I feel like this leans more heavy on the strategy because of that decision making of the three. So, for instance, if my player goes for one location, I've got to think, okay, do I want to go head to head with him here, or do I go after these other two? What are the rewards for these other two locations? It's cool, dude. It's very, very good. I'm super impressed.
Is it? It looks like, so we're watching PC gameplay, and it's really thin. Is this like just meant for mobile and that somebody plays on PC?
I thought it was on PC. That looks like BlueStack or something this person's playing on. Yeah, let me check.
This gameplay says that it's PC, but see how it's it's portrait, not landscape. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's on Steam. Yeah, it's on Steam.
I know, but this guy. But is it
Maybe he doesn't have it in
I'll
windowed
see.
mode or something.
Oh no, that's exactly how it's.
Oh, yeah, so
how
it's
built.
full screen,
So
but
it's
it just-
full screen like
so,
that.
yeah.
Interesting.
So it's basically a mobile game that
It
they
is in early access.
Well, so they did what Diablo did.
yeah, it's a mobile game that they ported to PC.
Yeah, basically.
And they'd probably still have the touch to enter instead of changing that word to click.
The gameplay loop is really good. The battle pass, what I enjoy, it's a really smart way to do the battle pass. So the battle pass is free, and then they have these like collections to like quests to hit in order to level up your battle pass. So in order to hit those quests, you're gonna have to be in this gameplay loop. It's very.
How do they make their
It's very
money?
well
Card
done.
packs?
Yep, card packs, buying currency, same as Hearthstone.
What does the currency do, though? Because, like,
Probably
Hearthstone
buy-
makes
you
its
can
money
you can
to
buy
card packs. Like,
you can
that's
buy
the main...
skins for your. You can upgrade how your cards look. So you can have like
Okay, so like-
Wolfsbanes right there. That's like 3D.
So, like, foil cards and stuff like that.
Exactly.
How does
It's
this game make money? Is it like
through that
card packs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Through that, and then buying the currency. So it's very. Dieter Pinklage says everyone has access to the same cards around the same time, makes it super balanced. Yeah, it's very. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like I have to know everything about every card, and I'm getting beat because this person has this person has up this application on the computer that's telling him what's the next card to play. It's about the strategy.
Sure. To be fair, it's about strategy where you don't have to know a vast amount of knowledge to be competitive, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm sure like once you get into the higher levels, you do, right? But
And to be fair, I mean, that's how Hearthstone was in its first couple of years. After expansion after expansion after expansion, then you have to start worrying about all the cards
sure.
that could exist. And then after like 6 years of release, then they started doing
Yeah, it's
what
just the same Magic,
does.
Pokemon. There's a standard.
Yeah,
They have
But
Wild
what I'm saying is, I'm sure that will come here. But because you have to choose, because you have this 3 option right here, right? I think it masks that more. And so there's more of a focus on how you play these 3, because you could have a, let's say, in my opinion, I'm not that far into the game, so excuse me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but you could have a less powerful deck, in my opinion, but play the location correctly, and it gives you the bonus because you've played that location correctly, which enables you to beat a higher powered player.
Yeah,
essentially.
Sure.
Which
Or
is
a
like you're
higher
saying.
powered deck.
It's more of the strategy than the card.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm super impressed.
I like how its lore, and I don't know, its artwork is based on
Yeah,
comics,
comics,
not,
yes.
not
Yeah.
on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah, no, it's very good. The other thing is matches are fast. I think everybody's learning from TikTok. What's addictive is when you open up TikTok, it just throws you right in. Same with this. Like matches are 6 turns. That's it. Done. Very fast.
Wait, you only have 6 turns
You have
before
6
the
turns.
match is over?
That's it. I'm telling you. Remember when I said?
But you're saying that, like, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no. These are the developers of Hearthstone. They looked at it in the same way that Blizzard used to look at games and say, what is the fat we could remove to make this even funner? And I am telling you, it is blowing my mind.
I know it's really popular right now.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
I think in chat they were saying that you can change the mode on the computer. I don't know if they were joking with us or not, but I think you can change the mode on the computer.
what they
Rotate your
said,
monitor.
Oh, rotate your. Oh, okay, yeah.
and then
it's
the
on
display settings.
Yeah, and it looks great.
So it looks fantastic.
It's not what
It's
I'm.
the new way of gaming. Have a vertical monitor. Throw that up there. Yeah. Anyways, super fun. Love it. Love it. The game. Oh, and hopefully I can play it on a Mac because I actually had to call Spicy this week because I was like, Swayze, I need some gameplay footage of something, and my PC is not connected.
Yeah, because you got an Apple
Freaking Mac.
computer now.
I just got to connect my PC back up.
Do they still have, is it called boot camp? I remember when I was...
Yeah, they have boot camp. Yeah, it's a thing. But I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll make me do extra steps. Just put it on there.
I'm putting extra shit on here. Also, I mean, with their new processor, it can play a lot of games. It's not going to play any super high graphic games, but...
Well, I don't think it's the hardware that's the problem. It's the software that the games have to be written for.
It'll play this game. That's all I need.
I think anything can play this game.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, that's I'm addicted to that at the moment. So
Yeah,
also
maybe I'll download
Vampire
tonight.
Survivors. There's another one I want to check out. Oof, Rose
fun.
City Gamer. Thank you very much for sending that in, guys. Thank you for tuning in and listening a day early. We appreciate it. We missed you last week, but hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and enjoyed yourself. And now it's December already. So actually, let's go through December real quick while we have it.
Oh, it's a super stressful time of year. You got too many games releasing and too many games I have to beat.
How are you going to tackle that?
I don't know.
Well, tomorrow is the new Hearthstone expansion.
I got that. World of Warcraft.
He already bought the
World of
card
Warcraft came out. We still got to beat Halo on Legendary, which thankfully we're only like 2 or 3 missions away on co-op, so that'll be fine to shelf that for a little bit. The new Darktide game came out on PC. I maybe just to because I've got a lot of games, I might wait on Darktide because I'm really excited for that game and wait for it to come to the console, which is coming shortly. But I just can't wait for things, you know, and it looks really fun.
So, FYI, we've got 2 podcasts left for the year. Our last podcast for everybody listening will be on the 16th of December.
Shortly after the Witcher update.
And then we will be back on the 6th of January. So 2 weeks.
What about next
2 weeks
week?
off there. So next week's the 9th.
Is that...
We are going to be podcasting next week.
Are we taking Pearl Harbor off? Pearl Harbor's on the 8th. So you said we had 2 left.
Yeah, so this week is the 2nd.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's because where you were highlighted on the camera, I was confused. Okay.
Yeah. So, Jordan,
Yeah, I thought we were like...
See, Jordan, this is why when David says that he's right,
Yeah,
that's why I believe it.
and then I have to agree with...
Because of moments like this.
Because there are moments when you say stuff like that I never want to back you.
What is Pearl Harbor December 8th? Or am I wrong? I know it's the first week of December, isn't it?
I don't know. Am I supposed to know this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know it's... Yeah, anyway.
Anyways,
Okay, cool. Yeah,
so we've got 2 weeks left for the year.
Thank you, Jordan.
It's already December. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us again. If you haven't, come subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love hanging out with you guys. Come support us over here. If you enjoy the show and you're listening on a podcast streaming application, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps the show. Share us with your friends. And let's finish 2022 strong, everybody. Don't get sick, because if you get sick, you're sick for like 4 weeks right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.